Hello everyone. Today we're going to be doing a Challenger World Progression series. It's going to be kind of laid back as I've never really done one of these before. It's going to be kind of long too. I don't really post long videos either. I'm usually accompanied by a few friends. I may have to cut them out during this video because I'm unsure if they want me to use their audio clips. But the whole point of this series is to show what it's like to kind of learn a class that you have no idea what you're playing, but you kind of understand Maplestory. And I'm gonna voice crack a few times because I'm very tired. It is currently 3 a.m. But we're basically gonna be doing a Kain. It's gonna be a lot of fun. I made a Kaiser on what is it called? Kronos? Yeah, I made a Kaiser on Kronos, which is a lot of fun. I super enjoy playing Kaiser, but at the same time they feel kind of easy. So honestly, I'd rather try something new. I want to try a harder class, and I think Kain is decently harder. I also wanted to play a burst based class, which Kaiser's very DPM and they have no burst. In fact, they have the worst burst in the game. And as much as I enjoy the Kaiser experience and the class fantasy behind them, not the biggest fan of DPM at times. Um, for basic kind of goals, I want to be able to get the Emerald box because there's a chance that me and my buddies will be world hopping to Hyperion because there's a bunch of benefits for it, and we're not super attached to Kronos. Level goals. I would love to go as far as I can before the server ends. 275 would be really nice. If I get past 265, it'll officially be the highest level character on my account. Honestly, I'm not too attached to my Kaiser either because the plan is I want to do this series, make a few videos out of it, and try to get a footing on YouTube and get really good at editing. And then come November, when we get Burning World Season 2 or Challenger World Season 2, and we get the Bunny Girl, Len, I'm probably actually going to be main swapping to her. So in reality, all this is just kind of tied me over. I still plan on maybe making videos about my Kaiser, but for the time being, it's going to be mainly focused on Challenger World and what comes from that. If anyone doesn't know what Challenger World is, it's basically a seasonal server that you'll eventually be able to world hop off of. There's a bunch of benefits for being able to finish the Challenger server, being able to get these cool little potions. You get, I think it's 20 of them if you world leap to Kronos, and it's 30 if you world leap to Hyperion. It's pretty much just a free 6k Legion if you go to Hyperion. It's a free 4k if you go to Kronos. The people I'm playing with for this is actually really beneficial. One of them, he's a longtime Maple player, but he's kind of around the same kind of account progression as I am. And then the other one is a completely new player that I'm trying to walk through and teach the game. I'm probably not going to include any audio clips from them until I get their permission, as one of them is a bit, I don't know how public they want to be with their voice. And for Jim, I mean, I don't know. I've had him in my videos before, but I'll ask him, see what he thinks. But like I said, long-term goals, I would love to be able to start, or at least to be able to do the liberation process. If I can start the liberation process on this character, I'll be super satisfied. I got super far day one. And what's crazy is 20 minutes after I logged off to go to bed, it's funny how that works, the servers went down for emergency maintenance. So that's probably for the best. You'll see all my progression and stuff. We did a little bit of light cubing. Didn't have to do any star forcing because of Challenger gear, but we did a little bit of light cubing. I made the mistake of we have Miracle Sundays coming up, so kind of fucked up on that end. My hope is to get one of these out after every stream, and I hope to stream daily for at least the next 2 weeks of this. I know content's going to slow down. It's going to be a lot more grinding. I got to figure out how to stream Maplestory properly. It's going to be fun. I think this is going to be a nice learning process. It's going to teach me a lot of stuff. Maybe make some friends along the way. It'll be super chill. Bosses. My goals for bosses is to be able to solo Hard Will and Hard Lucid. If I can finish that, I'll be happy. I will push further if I'm able to. I don't know how much time the server will have left. I got surprisingly far boss-wise tonight. I could have gone farther, but I didn't feel like progressing. So it just kind of was like, yeah, okay, we're happy now. But that's my boss goal. I would love to get my first ever piece of Arcane as well on this character. My Kaiser is pretty much able to do 6-man wills. I have an Iran who's able to do 6-man will. Those characters are not able to do 6-man lucid yet on hard. But the hope is that this character will be able to either 2-man, 3-man, or solo those 2 bosses. And then become a perfect little boss mule. I, of course, am going to try to practice with Maplestory streaming. It's an MMO. I've streamed MMOs in the past. It's MMOs that are much easier to stream, like World of Warcraft. I've had a much easier time streaming that. I'm able to narrate it a lot better. I was surprised how well I was able to yap during Maplestory today. But I think that was 1, because I wasn't alone for about more than half of it. And 2, it was a lot of content I could narrate. It wasn't grinding, it was bossing, doing dailies, talking about cubing, talking about star forcing, talking about my plans for that, which as long as I don't glance over it, they will be in the video. I could yap forever, on and on and on. I should probably just get the video going. This is going to be a long series, I hope. Whether or not I continue this after the Challenger World ends on my Kain, it's a maybe. The plan would be probably finish the series, either take some downtime with like a progression series, maybe try to get into like patch notes reading, but we'll see. And then hopefully that will hold me over till November to then do a progression series for Len, which will then be my main, which I'll be able to make much longer than Kain. I don't plan on maining Kain. I plan on having him be a very, very light side main for now. He's a lot of fun. I'm actually going to express how much I'm enjoying it. You're gonna see me learn how to burst, even though I'm probably still doing it wrong. But I want to make sure to include the learning process, because when I was learning it, and it was something else. I'm gonna go over a few new systems when we come up to those parts. I'm gonna go over like the action sequence. I'm gonna explain some of the new HUD changes, some of the new quality of life changes, a bunch of stuff. Anything that I'm kind of confused about, because there was one thing that I thought was supposed to be in the patch, but I didn't notice it. I could have just been tweaking, or maybe I read the patch notes wrong. But that's pretty much all I want to say for right now. If anyone has any tips, of course, and little typing in the comments, being like, oh, you can watch YouTube and watch whole ass series on Twitch while you stream Maplestory, because it'll make things easy. Man, I wish. I gotta figure out how people stream grinding. Like, holy fuck. Other than that, I hope you enjoy it. I'll be cutting it every now and then. Yeah. That's about it. I'm really bad at narrating like this. Much better at narrating in the moment, not recording myself on Adobe Premiere. So, enjoy. So, on the Challenger World, there's this thing called Terablink. Terablink is actually a super nice process, and they've changed it a little bit, because if I remember correctly, I believe back in the winter event for GMS, we were able to do it on 7 characters, I think, once a day. I think it was once a day for 7 days. Basically, how this works is it pretty much removes the entirety of the pre-200 game. It's supposed to be like a speedrunning tutorial. As you can see on my screen, when I hit stuff, I get an absurd amount of XP. And because I'm a hyper burning max, it's giving me 5 levels per level. Or it's 1 level, then +4, whatever. You know what I mean. Basically, the benefit of this is that it's supposed to take you straight to Arcane River. In the background, I don't have the audio. I probably won't have in-game audio until I'm alone. But basically, I was explaining to my buddy how to do Terablink and what it was doing for him. It's basically going to take you just straight to 200. It's pretty simple. Teaches you a few things. Gives you a very modest and little too simple explanation of star forcing and, I believe, transfer hammer as well. And then it takes you through your job advancements. You go through first job, second job, third job, fourth job, and then you end at 5th. I'm trying to find ways that I can explain this in a really easy manner, other than it is a shit ton of levels. Basically, what I'm doing now is I'm now in the 3rd section of it, I believe. I'm pretty much just hitting level 100 and then calling it good. Now we're going through and equipping burning gear. Because what's nice is that our hyper burning max characters, much like other versions of burning like Terra, is you get these loot boxes, and they're basically level benchmarks. When you hit level 100, you can open this thing called a frozen burning box. It gives you a bunch of frozen burning gear. It's the red armor that I'm wearing right now. It's supposed to take you until 150, because at 150, you then get something called Root Abyss Fafnir gear. It is, I believe, 15 stars. Yes. This is extremely botched, by the way. But yes, I believe it's 15 stars. You pretty much wear that until you can really replace it, honestly. And then what's nice is that here's the difference, is on this server, there's this thing called Challenger items, or item burning. It's basically items that evolve with you after level 200. They pretty much get upgraded after certain boss kills, which you'll see me do. And I'm going to have so much fun going over some of them. 2 of them are a pain in the ass, because I did them super early. Last time there was... Oh, sorry, that was really gross. I'd edit that out, but this is super scuffed, and I'm really tired. basically, there are two bosses, pain in the ass, whatever. When you get to 200, though, after going through this little mini speedrunning tutorial, as you can see is what I'm doing. Like, I'm already level, I think, 150 now. Yeah, I'm already 150. I've been there for maybe 8 minutes. You pretty much just kind of progress like normal. It's just really fast. It's just like, look at this. And just like that, I'm 155. Like, I'm going to talk to Spiegelman, and then boom, 155. If you're confused about how to do this, all this stuff is found in the events tab. You'll see me also go through like the event itself, like the normal summer event stuff. Oh my god. What else? I say a lot. You know, I feel like I really yap with the word with the word. I'm getting sidetracked. But yeah, pretty much straight up takes you 10 to 200. I would have started it earlier, but I don't think it would have let me. What's funny was my buddy Swirl. He wasn't able to do it when I did because he did an Adele, and some classes lock you because some classes their intro stories actually block you from going into your job advancements. So he had to wait a little bit, so I got super ahead, even though he got into the servers before me. Fucking womp womp. Pretty much now what we're looking at here is we're looking at me starting to do the 5th job and getting my item burning. Also, what's nice is not only do we get item burning evolving armor, we also get little benchmark level brackets. So with the 1+4 event now, with it being like a new standard for hyper burning, oh, this is me in front of Swirl because I ran into him. Basically at level 200, you get tons of node stones, which I am going to yap about in a bit. Not right now. The node stone, no. I will say it when I get to my Lotus Lotus progression. Basically, when you hit level 200, you get a bunch of rewards, node stones, level 10 arcane symbol, which I can get into a little bit. Normally, the arcane symbols would only be level 7, but because if you burn on a challenger world, you get more rewards because they want to entice you to play on the server for your hyper burning max, which I think everyone should do, unless if you're super late in account, you don't need it, but I think 99% of the player base would. So basically you just get increased rewards. So everything's like kind of doubled a little bit. So for arcane symbols, instead of being level 7, it's level 10, which cuts off a lot of dailies. Right now, we're also looking at me going through the events. Gob is back, everyone's favorite frog. Honestly, I was not expecting Gob, but low-key kind of happy. I fuck with Gob hella. I loved the frog event that we had after the winter event. It was one of our like holdover events, and it was actually a lot of fun. I enjoyed that event a lot. What's nice is I gotta stop saying oh my god. I'm gonna do a little recording session where every single time I say I'm gonna take a shot. It'll be like that. It'll be like that scene from How I Met Your Mother. You know, you guys ever see How I Met Your Mother? I feel like that shit's kind of fire. Low key, kind of corny, but kind of fire. I need a script. I'm getting super sidetracked. I'm not even talking about the game anymore. But yeah, this is me going through the event. The event's, I think it's all right. I think it's pretty good. I think there's a lot of other benefits outside of the summer event that makes the summer really good. Like this thing alone is actually overstimulating. Looking at that fucking check-in screen, like, good lord, I don't even want to go over it. Pretty much, just tons of free rewards. It's really nice. What else is happening here? I did not pay attention to the story here at all. Because a lot of the story I think is like it connects after like level 285 story. Like be it like I think his name is Beedrix, whatever. Beldrix. Pretty much in July, I think we're actually supposed to be getting him as the new boss. And I think I want to no, Limbo was the one that started the new pitch set. He's the second boss for it. He's pretty cool. I said a few times during the stream, twitch.tv's last dude was that he is actually probably my favorite looking boss next to Calling. Calling's like really adorable, and I love her mechanics. I haven't fought her yet, but I've seen videos. But yeah, this is just me going through the intro for it, figuring out what I want to do for currency. My original plan, and I was watching Jake and his twin brother. I think they're twins. I'm like 99% sure they're twins. But they had a little notepad that was open up before the servers came up, and it was basically how to speed run this hyper burning max. So their plan was pretty much do Terablink as soon as you can. That's the quick 1 to 200 that you guys saw me do. Next, do 5th job advancement, get all that going. Either I believe they then do strawberry farms next, Strawberry Farms is pretty much a really nice little bit of XP. It puts you in a little arena that you kill 1,000 strawberries. Every 200, you get a big strawberry, just a shit ton of XP. It's really valuable until about 220. I did till 225 because I had a few left over because I bought too many. Because I solo grinded. I normal grinded till 205 to get another arcane symbol. This is me doing Magnus because we got to do him for the job advancement. But yep, they had this whole notepad, and then once they hit about 220, 225, they did their normal dailies, and Monster Park to get them to 230. I don't remember exactly what their plan was for 240. I was going to hit 240 today. I think I ended off at 230 and 47% XP before I really need to go to sleep. I really got to sneeze. Oh my god. Oh my god. No, hang on. It's going away. This is me looking at the 5th job for Kain. I've never seen 5th job for Kain, so I was like, oh, it's pretty cool. I like the Kamehameha ability. I honestly thought it didn't do damage, but I did learn later on that it actually fucking pumps. More on that later. Pretty much, this is now just Arcane River intro. You do this after you unlock 5th job. This will pretty much be the content that you do from 200 to 260. Following it, kind of like how I'm doing it, works. One thing I did want to bring up in this portion of the video was the teleport rocks. Teleport rocks got removed in this patch, kind of. Everyone can now teleport with a 5-minute cooldown, but if you can still spend Mesos to get a Gucci rock. The Gucci rocks is my favorite thing to call them because it really is just a fucking Gucci rock. Pretty much, you can buy a Gucci rock to then skip that cooldown. What's nice is this thing no longer is in the cash shop. It's no longer sitting in your inventory. It is part of the map because the map got reworked. Oh my god. Fucking yapping, man. You know, man, I have a fucking water next to me that I've been slurping. Fuck. Pretty much this is just me claiming everything for 205. I got a massive power jump here, and those are the 200 node stats. I'm gonna go ahead and go over this now. I think the 200 node stones up to I think we get 800 is actually insane. You're going to see me standing still right here. It's because I'm currently looking at my trio nodes and everything I need to do regarding 5th job. But not like it. And this is actually me getting my burning, and this is my evolving gear. And so my combat power actually just fucking skyrockets. Like, it's crazy how good this gear is. Kind of dangerous, not going to lie. In this portion right here, we're going to go over node stones because I do this for a while. I probably take a good 30 minutes to do this because not only do I do it for myself, I also walk Swirl through it because Swirl's never done 5th job, and 5th job is extremely confusing right off the bat. Basically, the way the 5th job works, you have normal ability nodes, and then you have trios. And then you have these weird purple nodes that are like on cooldown and stuff. It's weird to me. I mean, they're nice, but pretty much your trios, I feel like, are your biggest damage gain for 5th job. So what I'm doing right here is I dismantled some nodes to make a perfect trio, because I didn't have it. Out of my 200 node stones, I did not get the perfect trio that I needed for that one. But this is me looking at infographic. You can find your infographics online for each class. There's usually a Reddit post out there, I think, that has them all. It's super nice. But this is me going through all my trios, figuring out which ones I need, which ones are good. Like that's another one I got lucky, already had it. That's another one, got lucky, already had it. But with the 200 node stones, let me actually finish a thought for once. With the 200 node stones, you get up to 800. Normally, it's 400. But because we are on the hyper burning world or the challenger world, everything is pretty much doubled for the level brackets for the rewards and increased. The 800 node stones is kind of crazy. I'm not going to complain because low key it sped up my progression hella fast. But when I was level 225, I had almost all of my trios at level 20. Trio nodes and your normal ability nodes max out at level 25. My Kaiser, who has not gotten any node stones from an event like this, his highest node stone, that's a trio, I think is 17. And he's level 261 and almost 262. The progression rate for the server is crazy, which is why I think it's a good place for new players to understand the game. I do think it'll get them hooked on playing on event, and then they'll probably quit on off event, which is fine. I mean, a lot of people do that. But I won't lie, it was kind of bonkers. I'm probably actually going to cut this part of the video out because this is me looking at Swirl's screen while he's screen sharing and walking him through his infographic, telling him how it works, pretty much saying everything I'm saying right now. Your goal with your trio nodes is to get the perfect one so that way you can max your trio, or you can max your passive abilities of like fourth job as soon as possible. It basically takes abilities and passives from old jobs so that way it can bring them up to the fifth job strength. Super important because a lot of the times you're spamming abilities from mobbing and your damage uptime, your burst, a lot of it is affected by trios. Not only that, over time with 800 node stones, I also got a lot of ability nodes. I ended up, I think, maxing my most important ability node and almost maxing my second most by the time I was 230. Keep in mind, there's experience nodes that you can get later on. Because once you get your 800, I believe the 235 bracket and maybe the 240 also give you experience nodes, which basically are just Adderall that you inject into your veins to then Giga Chad level a single ability. It is really nice. Like it's a dopamine rush. Like I got one, I think, from the new tutorial thing that's in the event tab, the summer days one or whatever, the summer guide. And it juiced the fuck out of my nodes. Like I think I want to say it gave me 2 levels on one of my abilities. Like it was kind of crazy. Okay, so low key kind of messed up the audio a little bit. I don't really want to talk about it. I'm kind of new to this voiceover button that's going on in Adobe Premiere. Um, we're gonna try to speed things along because right now we're kind of just doing a little bit of brainless grinding. This is the strawberry farms I was talking about. Pretty much, if you look at the XP bar at the bottom, like I mean, come on, like you saw footage of me just doing normal grinding. It was slow as fuck. This is pretty much what I did until about 225. Once a week, the event lets you buy 5. I don't suggest using this after 220. A lot of people stop using them after 220 for the character and then use it on a different one if you buy extra. I should have done that. I didn't. I used it to get to 225 because I was super committed to 225. Super really wanted to get it, mainly because I was close. So pretty much, I bought I think 5 of these and I just kind of sped ran them. Uh, what you're seeing on the screen right now is on my stream we have video share. My buddy Ozzy was messing with it. There's a lot of fun little doohickeys you can do on my stream at twitch.tv/dogewiz. I'm gonna try to be live every day for more than 5 hours, so I'll probably be on whenever. Hopefully, when someone's watching this video, link will be in the description. Basically, now that I'm getting a little bit ahead of levels, I'm going through and skipping the Arcane River quests because I've done them on this account already. When you are a fresh account, you do have to go through them. Swirl was pretty much going through them the whole time. I think he was able to get through Vanishing Journey and Reverse City. Those are the first 2 zones. Next was Choo Choo Island. It sounded like he was interested in Choo Choo Island. I think Choo Choo Island is a swagger of a fucking zone. It's pretty much Godzilla zone. You get to feed a giant golem a sandwich. It's pretty sick. Uh, what else? I mean, it's just progression. Like going through the levels. In reality, I can't really show gear progression or anything until about 260. I'm gonna try to clip in some little bit of light cubing I did for my emblem, my tragic emblem. It did not go well. Spoiler. Pretty much though, yeah, this is how I would do 200 to 225, 220. I would do strawberry. I think that is probably the most efficient way to do it because everything in that shop, we're gonna be in this event for a long time, and everything in that shop you'll pretty much be able to get. Not too worried about it, and you can even get extra coins from the daily check-in if you don't want to take whatever the other reward is. Basically, in the event tab, that's the daily check-in. They're doing a cool thing, which I hope they continue to do, where every day that you check in, you can do it 5 times a week. You can either choose a normal item that's like part of the reward, or you can choose more of the currency. I think I'm taking the currency twice this week. For some stuff I don't want. So what we're looking at now is more the level bracket, level 10 symbol. You're probably wondering what that red box is. That red box, Absolab or Dominator Pendant box. Pretty much, and usually if this is a hyper burning on the Challenger World, you always hit the Dom Pendant. Pretty much, the Dominator Pendant is like super juiced. I think it's 17 stars. Yes, maybe 15. But It's nice. It's part of the boss set. You want it for extra stats, this and that. There's me doing another 200 node stones, leveling everything up. You're going to see me pretty soon doing my first boss. My audio is a little skewed right now. I made the mistake of not using another audio track like a silly goober and muting it in parts where I don't need it. So that will be used either later in this video or will be used for the next one because I'm not going back and fixing it. I've been making this probably for over an hour now, and oh boy, 4 a.m. is not a good time to be doing this. Pretty much just speedrunning levels. Like, once I get to 225, it's going to be a lot more progression, much more enjoyable watching. It's going to be less so much grinding. I'm going to start to do my bosses, which is going to be super fun. You're going to see me crash out on about 2 to 3 of them. It's going to be great because, like I said, not only have I not done these bosses in a while, like certain ones, like I hadn't done Pap in a long time because I kind of forgot that he existed for weeklies. So low-key kind of trolled myself money-wise. But yeah, that boss, I cuss a lot when I crash out. That's all I can say. And I don't have the energy to go through and censor myself on this one. In reality, when I stream, I should just cuss less because that would save me work, you know, at twitch.tv/Dojuas. Link will be in the description. Very nice. Very, very demure. Very clean. So, now, we just hit 225. Now is the time, I think, right? We're 225? I can't tell. I don't have my glasses on. I still left my glasses at my buddy's house that I have to go get, hopefully tomorrow. But yes, pretty much, I'm now getting all my arcane symbols. My combat power has skyrocketed. I'm giga chatting my way through progression right now. Straight up, no hoes know what got me. Another 200 node stones, level 10 arcane symbols. I'm pretty sure I'm about to bring up my fucking combat power here in a second. Now, what we're doing is we're about to do Monster Park. Monster Park giga chat energy. So, every day, you get 1 free clear of Monster Park. It's a nice little XP boost. If you spend some mesos, you get 6 extra clears. We have 2 Sundays coming up, which let me pull up my calendars because I don't want to gaslight anyone. On the 15th and the 22nd of June, we will have 250% more Monster Park Clear XP. I want to be 260 before that happens, so that way I don't troll myself. In reality, since I hit 230 today, I can probably hit 240 tomorrow, hit 245 on Saturday. Or no. Hit 240, I guess, technically today. Hit 245 on Friday. Hit 250 on Saturday. Hit 260 on Sunday. That could work. If I really want to do some extra grinding, I could. I got some schoolwork I gotta do, though. College student, you know what I'm saying? So, we'll see how that goes. But Monster Park's pretty simple. In simplest terms, you go through some arenas of monsters. You get a nice little bit of XP. You'll see it. I'm sure you saw it after I completed this run. I don't do my extra clears for a minute, but look at my combat power. Combat power is based on your progression of gear, and like its potentials, stuff like that. It's just skyrocketing. Like it's kind of crazy. Gotta pop my arm. Hang on. Fuck. More nodes. You know, my tri nodes are actually juiced. I think in the audio, I was actually going kind of crazy over how high level they were already. And even my buddy Jim was a little confused because I think I did CZAC after this to upgrade my burning gear, my challenger gear. Yes, I did. I don't really need to do comms here. This is me trying to figure out how to burst as Kain. Another thing that we're gonna go over really quick is actually no, I don't think it's in this part of the video. But I did not know how to burst. I am straight up pressing buttons. I didn't know what execute abilities did. I didn't know what shit did. I didn't know about the red debuff. Before we get to the part that is actually gonna take me a minute to explain, pretty much what we're looking at right now is CZAC. Kind of never really took the time to learn him. Kind of just smack him a lot. Pretty much just hitting my head against the wall till he dies. So Kain mechanics, something about a red fucking bar, shit like that. I don't know. I'm gonna go over it a lot in this next clip. I'm gonna try not to have other voices, but I hope you enjoyed. This is me going over my burst and some other stuff. I will explain sequence after. Okay, so like I wasn't gonna put anything here, but I've been told not to because voices. So I'm re-rendering this, but that's fine. Um, I'm just gonna put some silly sploinky music here. I don't want to yap. It's 5:30 a.m., dog. I'm tired of shit. So here's me killing Vellum with sploinky penis music. Yeah, I won't lie. Some shit got fucked. No music. Get pranked. Okay. So I'm gonna be honest. Uh, we are not gonna watch me do the rest of CRA unless if we really want to. Pretty much what happens next is kind of just us doing a little bit of prepping for PAP. We had to go through and do his pre-quest and stuff again because, see, my account's a little bit bugged. So my pre-quest, I never got the Libertium like medal or whatever, so I can never really turn it in. But what you're seeing me do right now before we skip ahead to the PAP boss is you're seeing me upgrade my burning gear. So now that I killed Sea Vellum solo, I am now able to get it up to, I don't think it was a star enhancement. I think it was my potentials got increased. So if I kill Papulatus, all of my challenger gear gets up to 17 stars, which is a metric fuck ton of stats. Like I think this was the biggest upgrade of the night, getting up to 17. I think it gave me 800 KCP. I want to say that's how much it gave me. That's because how star forcing works is after 15 stars, you start to get different stats. So not only is it giving you an increased amount of dex and your other main stats, it's also giving you attack. Attack is probably one of the most valuable stats in the game. You want to try to get it as much as you can, especially early, I think. It might be the other way around. But pretty much the more attack you have, the better you're going to scale because then when you start getting percent attack lines, that will then skyrocket. When I cubed my emblem, I threw, I think, 100 something cubes into it and it didn't get to legendary kind of bummed out about it, not gonna lie. So pretty much most of my gains today came from doing the challenger upgrading. So now we're gonna move on to Pap really quick. You're gonna see me do this boss. I don't have much more to commentate on for this video. I will try to talk about whatever I can that's important at the end. But pretty much I'm just gonna try to play the bosses that I did for the first time on this character and show my progression. So really quickly, because I really don't want this video to be like over an hour, because in reality it shouldn't be. I'm gonna go ahead and go over the ability sequence because this is a long fight. I think this fight took me about 14 minutes. Basically, what happened with the ability sequence is it's a new feature that was added with this patch. It's a huge quality of life. There's a few classes that desperately needed it. It helps a lot of the classes that has to pop a lot of buffs before their burst. So, for instance, Bowmaster. The amount of buttons Bowmaster has to press before they can actually do damage is a very, very disgusting amount. Like, it's actually fucking crash out worthy how disgusting it is. So, and pretty much what ability sequence does is it removes like the GCD, like the global cooldown between pressing every button. Usually it's like about half a second to a second, where like, oh, you press your Q to press a buff, and you gotta wait a second because it's doing the animation. Press your W, wait a second because it's doing the animation, this and that. This will pretty much ignore it, which is super nice and a lot of fun. It felt really nice playing Kain. I think I chose a good time to start trying out Kain because animation sequence made it that much more enjoyable. Pretty much it just does an order of abilities. You press this one button, it does it all in literally the span of like half a second, and then you're ready to go on. You're ready to do your burst. It made Kain so much more enjoyable because I had 7 different abilities, I think, in my action sequence. And having to press all those would have taken me 7 seconds, and it would have felt really bad to use. I think that's all I really have to say about action sequence. It was super nice. Any closing thoughts before I let the video end? Pretty much once Lotus is dead. I think overall I enjoy Kain a lot. Besides the fact that there's animation locking. Like when I press my blitz and I'm stuck in place for 3 seconds, yes, it does a lot of damage. I kind of wish I had an iframe in it, to be honest. Like I died earlier in this first phase because of it. It felt really annoying. I'm sure there's a way I can get around it. I'm going to look up Kain guides before I do Lucid Prog on this character. I think I can do Lucid before 260, but I don't think there's any point because to get the 260 achievement thing, that's when you kill Lucid. Like that's when you get like the 19 star upgrade. Yes, I could do Lucid earlier, but there's not really any point to besides Mesos. I think if for some reason I'm not 260 by Tuesday, like next week before reset, then I just do Lucid so that way I can get the Mesos for the week. It'll be super nice. Other than that, like I said, my goals, I want to get the Emerald box for the server. I want to be able to world leap to Hyperion if that's the plan, and have 6 to 8k Legion and be straight chilling. I'm gonna use these videos as a sort of benchmark for my practice with editing. This video's main subject to practice on was my voiceovers. I'm really bad at doing voiceovers and having it link up with the video. I found a nice way to do it because Adobe Premiere reads it back to me as I'm speaking. I muted Adobe Premiere while I do this because if I hear myself speak, it just all gets mumbled. I get confused and I can't speak properly. I might look into making scripts. Low key, don't want to. I like freeballing it a little bit. I think freeballing is just more lax and I enjoy it more. I think reading a script would suck because I'm also dyslexic. I don't want to fucking deal with that. I'm gonna have a seizure if I do that, even if it's written by me. Overall, I do hope the series is a success because I do want to do another one when Len comes out. Like I said, she will be my main. So at most, I don't see myself pushing this Kain past 275, 280. Any closing thoughts? I would like suggestions and criticism. Of course, no like stupid shit like put a dancing raccoon in the middle of your screen and for entertainment. Yes, it would make the video better. Don't want to deal with that if I'm being honest. I've been editing this for 2 hours. Sure, it's simple edits, but having to watch back a 6-hour stream, having to figure out audio. I had a straight 20 minutes because I fucked up the audio. I had to make a whole new file and then copy it and paste it over to the original file and then link it up somehow. I got it to work. I mean, like if I didn't, then the audio from when I did C Vellum literally was an hour and a half ahead of it. So it would not like I was really talking about flaming while I was fighting Vellum and it just didn't make sense. But yeah, I hope to practice my editing skills with this. This is kind of a side project for me, I guess. Whether this succeeds or not, I don't really mind. It would be nice because I would love to get into Maplestory a bit more. I'm pretty much done with WoW, so I would like a game to grind. I just took such a ridiculous death. I'm going to let myself end off. If you want to catch me live, I am usually live around at least 3 p.m. Mountain on any days besides Wednesdays and Mondays because Unless if it is a studio day, I'm probably in class. So stop by twitch.tv/doodles. As you know, I've self-plugged at least 4 times now. There will be a link at the bottom and a few other information and tidbits if you want to read it. I will try to have one of these out every day, at least for the next week. After that, it might start to get to the point where I say, fuck it, and it's weekly progression videos. Like, that's how most people do it. They do like a 3-hour video that covers the entire week that they just did. And I could do that. Thing is, that's a lot of fucking files. It's a lot of size. All right, I'm going to let twitch.tv/dojuiz finish this off. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Like and subscribe for more. And with that, thank you guys for watching. I'm low-key tired as fuck. You know what they say? Sometimes the bed makes itself on God. Honestly, the rest of the stream is pretty much just me doing a little bit of cubing. Didn't hit 100 plus cubes out of my emblem. Still unique, little Jover. We jumped a bit of combat power here, which was nice. Other than that, I think this will be the longest one I make. I don't think it'll be any longer until I do like weekly progression videos. And those are, I'm gonna have to sit down with like 15 bottles of fucking water, man. Anyways, hope everyone has a good day. Thank you all for watching, and good night.